Welcome back. As I was saying, this is our Volition founder chat. So we do these on a weekly basis and have done so since, I don't even remember, April, or I think it's April. I believe that was our first one. So when everything kind of was mid lockdown and mid chaos with COVID, and I know we're still going through different kind of iterations of what the impact is of the impact of COVID. But at the time, there was lockdown and a lot of kind of initial pivots and impacts within the startup ecosystem across Canada and Europe, all over the globe. So we ended up reaching out to our community and kind of asking what would be something we can do to support founders at this time. And one of those things was help us get visibility. So this is why we launched our IG Live Founder Chats, and now we've just continued them, and we've been able to have incredible founders on, such as Jess, who have come and pitched at our events. So Jess herself, she is one of the co-founders of DOUBL. So her co-founder is Bryn Davis. Am I saying that? Am I pronouncing correctly? Okay, right. Perfect. And unfortunately, IG Live doesn't let us have 3 people at this point in time, maybe someday in the future. But we have Jess here, and I'm really excited to learn about DOUBL, who we first met in May at Virtual Pitch Canada, where they pitched and earned first place from all of the attendees who were watching and really loved what they had to say. So, hi, Bryn. Bryn's in the comments. So if you have questions for Bryn, you can also send those her way. So Jess, essentially what I love to do is start this out by getting kind of a general understanding of what is DOUBL, and then we're going to dig into what is the story behind DOUBL, what is your background, what's Bryn's background, what's your mission, why did you get started in this, talk a little bit about the impact of the past few months and what 2020 has looked like for you, and then kind of go from there and see where conversation takes us. But I'd love to know, just kind of from the outset, a little bit about yourself and about DOUBL. So I'm going to hand the reins over to you.
Yeah, that sounds great. So Bryn and I actually met in university. We went to the Ivy School of Business, where we first actually came up with this idea, like the very initial kind of idea of what DOUBL is now. And when we graduated, we both went our separate ways into our respective industries. So my background is in fashion buying. I've done some sales work as well, and Bryn is in marketing at a large CPG company. Mm-hmm. So we kind of worked for a few years, and over those years, we never lost passion for our idea, which was customizable bras. As we found, there was a huge gap in the market. Like over the past 4 years, we've spoken to so many women, and the problem has just stayed true over these past 4 years, that women feel discomfort. It's anywhere of chafing of their straps, like digging of their underwire, not being able to find their size. It's all over the place.
Every store sizing you differently.
Yeah, nobody has exactly. Even when I look to buy a bra, which I almost never like wear anymore. Yeah, it's like impossible to find my size, especially now with everything being online. You can't try anything on, so it's just this like huge nightmare. Yeah. And the more that we dove into the problem, the more that we realized that it's affecting women on a greater scale. It's affecting them in the workplace. It's affecting their confidence. And so our mission at DOUBL is to allow women to feel comfortable in their skin and not to worry about their bra, not to worry about their undergarments, to feel comfortable and confident in their everyday and allow themselves to reach for opportunity and not sit in that business meeting and think about like, oh my God, I'm so uncomfortable. Like, I can't even sit properly. Like, all I can think about is like how much my straps are digging into me, and I can't wait to play off my bra at the end of the day. Yeah. So that's sort of the core essence of DOUBL. We also are looking very much into the technology sphere. We're really interested in innovation. That was another thing that really kind of spearheaded this project, was that there's been so little innovation in the lingerie industry. And if you look at like the men's underwear industry with Saks and Aegis, there's been quite a bit of progress there, and there hasn't really been the same in women's bras. There has been a few companies, as we're seeing like more niche brands come forward, and they're creating larger size ranges, which is wonderful, softer fabrics, but there's yet to be a company to truly customize. So we've been looking at 3D technology and working with 3D image technology to be able to fully scan a woman's chest online in a very private way, so they can find a bra that's completely customized to them in a reasonable price point. They can reach it online wherever they want. And we'd be using a local network for production and distribution, as it is a product, therefore we wouldn't ever be able to mass produce. So this has also been kind of in the ethos of our company. We really want to be kind of bettering the industry as far as fabric goes, as far as our employees go. We want to really empower the women that we have working for us. We want the work to be autonomous and meaningful. We want to work with local Canadians. So we just want the whole process kind of to be around this feminist movement and idea.
Yeah. That's incredible. I love and am super intrigued by the technology element of this. I think like what you're doing is really important. I remember in your pitch that you said something to the effect of telling that story about how women at the end of the day, all they can think about is taking their bra off. And I remember my managing partner who's here in the chats saying, well, I don't know, is that actually the experience of women? Like, is this a thing? And I imagine that if we had been in person, every woman would have like put up their hand and be like, yes. And like in the chats, everyone was like, yes, this is a thing. And it's just such a universal kind of experience. But it's interesting because the technology that you developed, especially to be able to do this kind of sizing can you do it from the comfort of your own home? Is that how I'm understanding it correctly?
Yeah, so we're still currently in the prototyping phase. However, we've spoken to a couple 3D image technology companies. So essentially how it works is you take a photo from just the front of your body in sort of tighter clothing or in your underwear if you prefer, and then to the side of your body, and then you upload these two photos, and then just based on the photos, the technology is able to just pull out the required measurements, and we will be taking 7 measurements from the chest area.
Oh, it's so amazing. I am so frustrated being online in the past few months. Even just trying to decide a shirt to buy online took me like a month of a month that was a painful process of trying to understand if I was measuring myself correctly, you know? And I just was like, I had this like anxiety. I was like, I don't know. And I ended up buying the wrong size in the end. And I like clearly don't know how to measure myself. So I imagine that there's that kind of fear as well with a bra, because they all seem to fit differently, and they all seem to, like, every single manufacturer creates them differently. So I'm just like, I'm so excited to see what comes.
Measure yourself too, because if you like hold a measuring tape slightly tighter, slightly looser, and it differs by an inch or two, and that inch or two could be so huge for the ultimate fit.
Absolutely.
I completely understand.
Oh, amazing. I love this. I love this so much. And welcome to those who have joined us since. I think probably most of you, I recognize your names, so maybe you're already familiar with Jess and with DOUBL and with Bryn, the co-founders Jess and Bryn of DOUBL. But it's really great to have you. So thanks, everyone. Make sure to say hello, ask questions if you have them. Okay, so I feel like have the understanding a little bit of that story behind DOUBL and kind of what you've been working on. And I'm curious about what has 2020, actually, no, you know, what I'm curious about is a little bit more of this origin story. So what, can you remind me, and maybe I missed it, when did you, it sounded like you conceptualized this kind of 4 years previous to when you started working on it. So when did you and Bryn really kind of dive into working on DOUBL?
So we dove in at the beginning of this year, actually.
Okay.
We really felt like I've sort of gone through transition myself this year as far as kind of switching industries and having a little bit more time on my hands. And then with COVID, we really felt like there was an opportunity in the online marketplace, and we felt like this product, it being virtual, it was maybe a really great opportunity to bring it to fruition this year.
Right. So it was born in COVID. So I feel like that question of what has the impact of COVID had on your company is not even potentially relevant, because you decided to do it because of this. But what has, like, have there been, you know, like, I'm so curious about like these companies like yours that are being born during this year, intentionally so. What has that been like? Like, have the lessons for you, what lessons learned been like? Has it met your expectations? Kind of what's the experience been like?
It's been pretty great. Like Bryn and I are situated in different provinces, so
right.
Our relationship has been mostly virtual. We did get to see each other prior to COVID in the beginning of this year. But yeah, it's worked pretty well. I think it's been kind of a highlight for us as we've just started labs with League of Innovators, which has been really great. And I think with COVID forcing us to go online and network virtually, it's actually really enlarged our community, and we've been able to network and really look into spaces that maybe we wouldn't have looked into had we been able to be meeting in person, and it wouldn't have felt as necessary. But I've really come to learn that having a large network and a large community is really what drives the momentum of your business, and it's these people who are asking the difficult questions and making us push forward into creating a business that will be successful in launch.
Amazing. I saw League of Innovators has joined us. Hi. They're one of our partners as well, and just like a fantastic organization. So I'm really excited that you're a part of that. And I know that's why we had to move our session here today a little bit. But that's totally fine. It's incredible that you're doing that. I'm excited to see where that goes. So in terms of then looking forward, what is your vision for DOUBL? What would this look like a year from now or a couple of years from now? What's your kind of like big picture that you'd like to see unfold with DOUBL?
So we would love to launch by the end of this year. So that would be our largest focus. Right now, I can actually show you guys. We just made our fabric selections, and
Ooh.
Yeah, we're really excited.
We're going on a tour of the office. It's exciting.
Yeah, my home. It's a little bit difficult to see, or I wish you guys could feel it. It's really, really soft.
Excellent.
We're officially in kind of prototyping mode, and I think where we would envision this product in a year from now is we'd be fully launched, and we'd be helping serve kind of those underserved markets. So women who have larger chests, who can't find their size, and who are paying absurd amounts for custom bras from boutiques. Women who maybe are nursing or had vasectomies or have asymmetrical breasts. So basically anyone who ever has had problems finding a bra that fits.
Yeah.
And we really want to focus our attention also in like empowering women and making them feel confident in all aspects of their lives. We're going to be targeting the professional woman who's really career driven and maybe doesn't have a lot of time on her hands. She's trying to kind of balance all aspects of life, which I'm sure everyone can relate to, is being really difficult. And we really want our marketing to feel relatable. We want to show the product on bodies, not just strewn about like in a sexy lingerie type way. Yeah. So we really want to be kind of a disruptor. We want to be seen as a technology company, and we want to be seen as a platform for a positive empowerment community for women, rather than just like a lingerie brand.
And have you come up against any kind of pushback on that, or have people been pretty open to like a tech lingerie company idea, which is fairly new? You don't hear about that often.
Yeah, I think most people have been fairly receptive. I think there's a slight pushback maybe with the older demographic when it comes to shopping online and feeling comfortable taking photos of themselves and concerns about privacy. However, the younger community is fairly used to this, and they've online shopped most of their lives. And also with COVID, jobs that were never remote are now remote. People who never shopped online are now shopping online. So I think COVID has really pushed the virtual and the online shopping to be a norm. So I think that's really helped us.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was finished my thought.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think it's great. There's been a few other companies that have come through the pitch circuit since when you came through that are doing various products and services for women, and a lot of them are ones you can access online. I think it's Rhea Health. That's one where you can find birth control that's like specific to your body's genetic kind of makeup.
Oh,
Like it's just
I
like,
heard her pitch. I went
yeah.
to something like in the fall, in person, and I think I heard her pitch.
Cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's like I love this idea of like this really customizing things to your body. And like you said, not only lingerie, but so many aspects of women's health and wellness have been vastly underfunded and underrated, and all the unders essentially. So I really appreciate what you're doing for all women, and love that you're targeting on in this group, which is, I assume, a lot of women. I know lots of women in my own life who really struggle with finding a bra that fits and that they're comfortable in, and that they feel powerful in, because it really does impact. So I completely hear what you're saying with that, and I think it's really incredible what you're doing. So
Yeah.
exciting. Cool.
Yeah.
So so I was thinking, okay, so we've talked about your vision. What I'd like to know is, it sounds like we've already touched on a little bit about what your experience from this year has been like, and that building a network is really important as an entrepreneur. Is this your first, is this both you and Bryn's first startup or first business?
Yeah, it is. We've just both worked in like larger companies for the past few years.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so my question is, what kind of advice would you have? I know you're early in your journey, but you've already done so much and learned from so many people. What kind of advice would you have for your peers who might be just kind of starting out, peer entrepreneurs who are just starting out?
Yeah, definitely. It's a good question. I think my advice would be to take it one step at a time. When Bryn and I've been thinking about DOUBL for the past 4 years, the idea of even starting was so daunting, and
Yeah.
we realized it's kind of like a capital intensive project as it is a product.
Yeah.
And we were always like, how, like, would we ever have enough funding? Like, how, like, where would we find the people to help us create this product? Like, it almost felt impossible.
Yeah.
So my advice would be to just start small. Like, think of the idea, do it with a team member or team members who have diverse skill sets than you,
Mm-hmm.
who you feel comfortable with, and who you can bounce ideas off of. Like Bryn and I both think very differently, so we're often challenging each other's ideas, which I think is really great and
Yeah.
often leads to a better result. And we've just been doing it really slowly, and we just prioritize like what really has to happen next, and then that is our priority, and we think about how to do it in the most cost efficient way, and then we move forward.
Yeah.
And along with that, I think it's really important to build your network. Volition and League of Innovators have been so helpful to us. Also, Pick My Brain. We found our lawyer.
Maxine's incredible.
Yeah, she's awesome. I love her. So it's just been like, those loose ties are the people who really end up like helping you up and empowering you with their like diverse knowledge and skill set. And like many of the people from Volition and League of Innovators and Pick My Brain have their own startups, so they've come across a lot of the problems that starting like budding entrepreneurs are going to be facing.
Mm-hmm.
And just like really amazing advice. And it just, yeah, it's just like each little connection has helped us move forward. We found our graphic designer, our lawyer, our prototype designer, all through these connections. So I would just stress like how important networking community is, and then to just do it slowly, like take your time, just don't rush things.
Yeah. And how do you, when you're first kind of getting into the startup ecosystem, how do you kind of cut through the noise and decide who you want to work with? Or like how did you find League of Innovators? How do you find Volition? How do you find Pick My Brain? I assume you found through Volition, but but like how do you figure out where to start? Or how did you personally figure out where to start?
We kind of used like our prior network before that. We found innovators through some of the people that we went to university with. One of our friends, he went through the program himself, and he works for a small startup that he's created with some team members, and he loves labs through them, and it's just been a great experience. So we were referred by him, and we even know Annika, one of the League of Innovator speakers, and founders. She's been someone that we connected with through school. And then Volition, I just found, like, I think Bryn and I are both kind of go-getters, and we were just like looking around in our communities. And so I was looking at Vancouver pitch events and networking events, and found it through that. And I attended one of the other pitch events prior to signing up.
Right.
So I think just kind of like exploring, like seeing what's available to you, where you
just go for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, people are really welcoming, I found, in the startup community, and most entrepreneurs really love to talk about themselves and love to help. So just ask for help, talk to them. I think it's great. We did have a question come in, so I want to grab that. So Shirley has asked, what's your first product line? What will your first product line be like, and when will it become official?
Awesome. Hi, Shirley. Shirley and I went to university together.
Oh, hi, Shirley.
Yeah. So we're initially just going to be launching one bra, and it's going to be a t-shirt bra. It's going to be offered in like the nude, black, and white colorways, just to be really kind of basic. We don't want to go too far too fast. So within that t-shirt bra, there will be customizations available as far as padding, no padding. And then a lot of the customization is actually going to be kind of based on your body. So the denser and larger the breast, the wider the strap kind of has to be in order to disperse the weight properly on your shoulder. So the way that the customization is going to be done will be based on the size and shape of your body. And then if you prefer, for example, if you are given a wider strap, however, you know yourself and you say, no, I want a thin strap, and I know that I'm comfortable with a thin strap, then you can go and kind of go back and tweak the bra to ensure that it's something that you like. So essentially we'll have, I guess, one product line, 3 different SKUs within that option in those 3 colorways, and then it's just customized to yourself. So I guess it's like so many different iterations, I guess. Yeah. So I guess it's just really one product if I think about it.
Oh, how are you feeling about, and you want to do this by end of 2020, like get it out there so people can start actually ordering?
That would be amazing. I think it might take us slightly longer than that. What we really hope to be doing is we're going to be beta testing, because we want to ensure that the product does have a superior fit than what's currently on the market.
Yeah.
So we realize we need to do many iterations and have like multiple women try it on, all in different sizes. So right now we're doing our initial sizing on just 2 different models, and then once the prototype kind of has like the pattern is just fully developed, we'll be doing a rose garden approach with 25 women, probably friends and family, and then we're going to do another 25, probably until we reach 100.
Okay.
And make sure that we have a really diverse range. And then once we've gotten feedback from them to ensure that the product is what everyone is like, we wanted to make sure that it's helpful. So as long as if the feedback is positive by the end of that, then we'll be looking to launch. So it will depend how long that process takes. I think it may take like 6 months to a year, maybe.
Okay.
Unless we go super fast, then maybe.
We'll see. We'll see. Oh, that's incredible. You've done an amazing work this year. So I hope you also have taken the time to acknowledge and celebrate how far you've come. So it's incredible. Yeah, massive congratulations to you and Bryn. It's great. Even since we last saw you pitch, everything you've done is very cool. So in terms of those who are listening, who are just really excited about being a part of what you're doing and supporting you, and saying things like looking forward to it. So how can we support you? What can we do to help you get to those milestones? What can we do?
Well, we need beta testers. So if you guys go to our website, double.ca, we have an email sign up. So if you're interested in trying one of our bras, please, and like hearing kind of about our progress and when we were to launch, please sign up. We'll reach out when the time comes, and follow us on social. We're trying to kind of spread the word and show people our journey. And then when we're ready to launch, we would love for you guys to be our first customers.
Cool. And is this just in Canada?
So, yeah, I guess we are starting in Canada. I'm sure we will eventually be like all over North America.
Yeah.
But yeah, our production and everything is currently local, and we'll start with Canada to
Okay. So if you are in Canada and interested in being a beta tester, is what I'm hearing?
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Okay. No, just I'm aware. Well, I'm personally in Ireland because I was like, oh, I want to do one. I was like, I probably can't. And also we do have people who watch from other areas.
Do one.
Oh, I would be so into that because I can never find something that I'm like, I should probably not get into the details, but it's very frustrating. So I feel you on that. Ontario and BC only is what I'm seeing Bryn say.
Oh yeah, okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's just Canada. Yeah. No, it's that's fine. So Ontario
to people more easily because I'm in BC and Bryn's in Ontario.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure we'll make some exceptions though.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay. So, but wherever you are in the world, I would say to go to double.ca anyways to get on your newsletter list to kind of check out what's happening because I'm sure will come to other areas of the world at some point and we can help make that happen by giving that extra support. So, and also Double, what is it? I have double.ca is actually the name of your Instagram handle as well.
Yeah.
From what I'm seeing. And so yeah, go. Let's just everyone watching this and spread the word to your communities as well. Cool. Alrighty. So we're coming up in kind of like the last minute here. So if anyone had any last minute questions they want to get in, whether you are following along live or later on, do let us know. It's been really great. If you joined kind of later on or watching this later, so you know, I guess if you're watching this later, this will be the end for you anyways. If you just joined later, so you know to go back and watch it on IGTV or on YouTube, usually within kind of 24 48 hours, we have it up in both places, and you can hear more about Double and the origin story of Bryn, of Jess, of this idea and how it kind of was conceived, and then kind of 4 years later, there was still the same problems being seen and pain points for women, and that I think there's always been these pain points for women. So they're doing some really cool things in addressing bra fit with technology. So very cool. Please do check it out. Go back and watch the interview and give some love to Double. But in the meantime, is there anything that we haven't touched on in today's chat yet, Jess, that you wanted to talk about? Or Bryn, you're watching along as well. Is there anything we haven't talked about that you wanted to talk about?
I think the only thing that we maybe didn't touch too much on that I wouldn't mind talking about is our distribution network and our kind of the way that we plan on producing is we're going to have seamstresses in each province, ideally, eventually, but BC and Ontario to begin with. And we're going to be using sort of like almost an Uber skip the dishes model where the orders will be going directly to the seamstresses. Okay. They will have an account with our fabric sourcer and be able to get the materials that they need, and then they'll be creating the bra to the measurements that they are given, and then either they're going to be shipping to a distribution location where we'll be doing a quality check, because that's a question that we've been getting a lot, is how to ensure quality.
Right.
So we're thinking through that problem right now. But yeah, ideally we're just going to be providing a really like autonomous work environment, almost like these women creating like little small businesses of their own,
right,
and then shipping directly to consumers and feeling really like a part of the team and a part of the business. And yeah, I just wanted to
very cool
talk about that because I thought that was sort of a unique part of our business model, and we are going to be looking for seamstresses. So if you are interested, or if you know someone that would be interested, please reach out. We would love to hear from you.
Very cool. So what was the conception of this idea? Like how did you land on this production method?
Well, we were like struggling a little bit because we knew that we could never mass manufacture if we were going to do customization, unless we were going to fall into boxes again, which seems to be the case for the new up and coming players. They end up expanding their size ranges just because it's too much and you can't continue to operate that way. But we just feel like the bigger story behind it, and like what we're really passionate about, isn't to scale so much and just like be focused on the money, because I think that's what happens is that your margins are obviously much larger when you're mass producing than they ever will be when you're producing small scale. But we feel like ideally we'll reach a high quantity at some point. But I think that the idea of just creating a product that is empowering women, that should just exist already, is like why we're doing this in the first place. So I think that's really how we came down to it, and the idea of helping women and the idea of having a really strong team who's all working towards the same goal is kind of how we landed on that. And we've really seen in the Uber model that there is success there. So why not bring it into products?
Cool. All right. Well, I'm excited to hear how that all works out for you and kind of follow your journey. Are you on your website? Do you kind of do you document how things are going and kind of, you know, what's happening in your journey anywhere? Is there anywhere that we can kind of keep in touch in terms of what your journey is looking like?
We actually have yet to do that, but that is a really great idea. I think we should start doing that.
Yes, please. Yeah. Cool. All right.
We'll start doing that on Instagram as well.
Awesome. Cool. And hopefully we can have you back on here when you are up and running, or when you're getting closer, when you're at 50, when you're at 100 kind of beta customers, whatever that happens to be. We would love to have you back to give an update to us as well. And Bryn is saying on LinkedIn and Instagram, if you follow them, then you can kind of learn about what's going on with the company and what their journey is like. Because it sounds like you're doing so many really interesting things with this and kind of unexpected things with this. So I'm just fascinated and I'm sure others will be fascinated to see how that all goes for you. Hi, Nikki. So we're just wrapping up here today. So if you've just joined us, please do come back and rewatch the IGTV. So we'll be posting this relatively quickly on IGTV and then again on YouTube. So please do come back and rewatch because it's really, really interesting what Jess and Bryn are doing with DOUBL. So one more time. So DOUBL manufactures bras made to your measurements so that you can get the perfect fit, and does this through using technology. Go check them out on double.ca or double.ca on LinkedIn or Instagram, it sounds like. And please do share the love. If you are a seamstress and looking for some work, or some part-time work, it sounds like, get in touch with them as well. So the last question then, what I like to ask is completely unrelated, but what is one thing that brings you joy right now?
I think this year has been completely crazy and like basically a shit show, I would say. But I think one really great thing that's come out of COVID and the mess that is this year is that I've seen a lot of local companies really helping each other and community coming together, which has been so inspiring to watch, and just kind of some really interesting innovation in many spheres. Like, for example, with medicine, everything is now online, which I think is awesome. There's so many like small restaurants. I'm like a huge foodie. And some of the like tiny little restaurants here, I was so worried about them. I was like, there's no way they'll make it through COVID. And they've just come up with these like really cool like grocery type ideas, or helping like first responders and meal kits. It's just like, it's so cool to watch. I think it's so incredible like how resilient people are and how many great ideas are coming out this year.
Cool. I love that. All right. Well, and thank you for the idea that's come out. Thank you for DOUBL. I mean, this has come out of all of this shit show, as you say. So it's been incredible to watch all of this innovation and the resilience and the pivoting and all the things. So yes, 100%. Thank you. Alrighty, so we are wrapping up for today. Thank you everyone so much for coming out to meet Jess and to learn about DOUBL. Really, really appreciate it. We're getting lots and lots of hearts coming up on the side here. So really appreciate everyone being here. And a reminder, we'll be back here again at 10:30 a.m. PST on next Tuesday. We'll be talking to Andre of Rawbox, which is also a really cool Vancouver-based company, so come back and check that out. But in the meantime, thank you so much, Jess, for your time. Thank you for the work that you and Bryn are doing, and please do come back anytime. We'd love to have you.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having us, Melanie. We're so
You're
excited.
very welcome. Cool. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys. Thank you.